Alright, got a couple of little projects I wanted to work on today. Still gonna pull out the blow chamber back here and make sure that that O-ring that I put in there isn't causing any kind of oil leakage. Where is my flashlight's in my pocket? So yeah, still trying to figure out. I haven't moved the car since I retapped this and put that back down. Just kind of preemptively thinking here where I want to go next. I think what I want to do is get the car up. I forgot that I wanted to do a valve stem adjustment, or that I had to do, not that I wanted to do. So I'm going to pull this guy off real quick and do a quick valve stem adjustment, see where we're at. It shouldn't be too bad, even though I took the whole rocker arm assembly off. Shouldn't be too crazy. And if need be, yeah, well, in order to do that, I'm gonna have to take the tire off. So first things first is get this loosened up, bring it up, get the tire off, and see where I'm at then. I got my sweet little catch can here, getting his oil drippings. Pulled that guy off, and as you can see right here, it looks as though my gasket kind of sheared in there, so I'm gonna pull that off. But looking past that, because that's where that guy comes in, it doesn't look like there was a bunch of oil being blown up. There's some in the catch can, or whatever this thing is called right here. There's some in there when I tipped it and I came down into here. Obviously that's what it's for, but it doesn't look like there's any. It doesn't look like that was my main problem. Curious as to what that is. Oh, there it is. So yeah, I'm gonna clean that up, throw that back on there. But just looking around up there, it definitely seems like it's coming from further up, and there ain't much else to do in there. Besides from shoving a t-shirt, up right up in there, there's really not a lot I can do from here on out. Not from down here, at least. Because wherever it is, if I haven't already fixed it with that thing, it's above the thermostat. That's a fact. Alright, so after having spent a half an hour in this weird ass position, for some reason I couldn't be bothered to stand up and sit down in that nice chair. Oh, now my back is killing me. Fuck. I did, however, flip through this about 4 times and could not, for the life of me, find whether or not this box, which is a blow-by box, but everybody just calls it the black box, even though it's not black. It's like communist green. Yeah. But when I was pulling that guy off of there, when I put it on the first time, I didn't remember seeing that huge gap there. And then as I was trying to pick off my other gasket that I put on there, this was on there and it was busted. So my oil pressure is just literally going through this crack. I don't know if you can hear that. It's got some I don't think rubber is supposed to catch or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna walk up to the store. Finally got an excuse to go for a nice walk up to the store for the 5th time this week. So I'm gonna run up there and see if I can't grab one of these guys, persnickety up, and then come back and clean, and then I should probably double check that I don't need a couple of things. Is there a missing fucking screw? What is going on up here? What is going on up there? Huh. I can't hit it. Whoa. Actually managed to prop this in a good spot. Oh, stupid camera. Zoom. That right there. Interesting. Interesting. I'm just curious as to what that is. That's an empty hole. It appears that the starter doesn't go to anything. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna check that out, go to the store, get myself a gasket, and I can do this valve stem adjustment. Alright, I'm back from the store. They didn't have the square cut ones in my size. Fuck, they barely had anything. So I got the round in hopes that that'll work. It's better than nothing. It's the same size. I got a little bit smaller diameter, inside diameter, hoping that it'll stretch it and maybe make it a little flatter. Either way, got a new gasket, so I'm gonna go ahead and get down there and throw this on there. Yeah, got that gasket on there. Now she's dripping again. Gotta get my drip tray going. I'm gonna clean all that off in a second. I just wanted to show that I got it on there. Hopefully that outside diameter won't mess with it too much. Should be pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and stick her back on there. And it's back in there. I had to struggle with it a bit. Took me forever to find that top hole. Put the bottom bolt in, and the top bolt wouldn't go in. So I took the bottom bolt out. Finally found the hole for the top bolt. Managed to get that in. A couple of threads, and then got the other one a couple of threads, and just kind of worked it in there. She didn't want to go, but she went. And looking at it, I'm hoping that isn't just, I didn't just bend the bracket as opposed to getting the tube in. I'll take a peek from the side here in a second. But right this second, while I'm down right in here, I'm gonna start cleaning up. Try and clean it up in case it does leak again. That way I can see where it's coming from even better. This is the oil pressure switch. Looking on the inside of the thing, of the clip for it, I don't know what to call it. It's got like a sock over it or something. The rubber boot that goes over the sensor clip on there is full of oil. And looking at this guy, I'm seeing it sticking out a little bit. It looks a little oily. I just cleaned it off, but I'm gonna stick a socket on there, see if I can't get it in a couple more threads. Alright, I got everything cleaned up as good as I think I'm gonna get down there, until I can drive it. Speaking of driving it, I want to get this guy off and do my valve stem adjustment. So I'm gonna do that. Alright, got my valve cover off. Yeah, I guess I don't think I need to take this off. But I do need to get a nut on there and get her turned around to top dead center, which I might actually need to see. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take it off. Fuck it. I just popped this cover off and I was taking a quick peek at this mark, which is supposed to line up with that paint mark right there. So I'm very curious. I'm gonna have to go back real quick and look at my video from when I last did this to see if I actually did that or if I lined it up with this one for some reason. I don't know, that kind of freaks me out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it into top dead center and see where that white mark ends up. Alright! Got these guys all back on there and done. Now all I gotta do is put the valve cover back on. I'm actually gonna try and do it. Try and get it on the gasket, as opposed to taking the gasket back off again, because I don't really want to clean these corners up anymore. These were a little loose, so before I tighten these the actual rocker nuts down, I made sure that these were all torqued again. They were a little bit loose, so I'm glad I did that. Saved myself a little bit of time in messing around. Yeah, because had these been loose and I adjusted all of these, because they would have been all off from torque spec on these guys, that would have just been a nightmare. I would have figured it out almost immediately after turning the car on, but by then it could be too late. So alright, so I'm gonna button this up. God fucking damn it, every fucking time. Excuse me. Alright, got it all back on there, buttoned up. Tried to fuck with this thing again. As long as I can keep oil from flying out of there, that's all I really give a shit about at this point. I'm gonna have to retap that, figure out what the next side, figure out what this size bolt is, tap that insert, get a new bolt for that, try and figure out some kind of system on there. Just another reason to buy a whole new fucking head. I think I said that moved. Alright, so now I'm going to throw my tire back on, drop it down, bring it out into the onto the horrible driveway and see if I can't make sure it's timed again. See where it's at least. So yeah. Alright, just got it back in there. Sounding good. Sounding great. Yeah, sounded great. No hesitations. Given that it's cooling up, still running. A decent idle. Not smelling any gas, which is good. And I'm back up to 14.7, so looks like it's pretty good. Now I got on to the next project. Right, so after a couple days of driving around, I got a little bit of a slop in my thing, and yep, in my stake shift, and that feels a little loose down there. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and take that off, the bolt off, and put some thread lock on there, so I can quit worrying about it coming undone. I was thinking about doing these guys. I'm gonna see how long they last, because I'm the one who tightened them down this time, not that grease monkey. So I'm going to do that. Also with the shuttering, I'm not exactly sure. I look back at some of the videos and I can't figure out if that mark was from before my timing mark on the belt and the thing, and I'm having an issue with the tensioner. So I'm going to take off the casing here, and I'm going to actually try and remove the harmonic balancer down there and make sure I'm in top dead center, get everything really just realigned, get it all back together. First things first, I reckon I gotta take this tire, loosen the bolts on the tire and get it up so I can get the tire off. Yep, so let's get this guy up. She's up! She's up! Alright, hold on. Let me turn this NPR off. Holy cow. So, I'm sitting here and I cannot get this off. All I really wanted to do is check the mark on the inside. I just wanted to pull it off. I already dropped the alternator belt, as you can see there, and the power steering belt, which you can't see there. But I just wanted to get that bolt off, pull this sucker off real quick, make sure my shims were in there right, or the tensioners, and make sure my mark was lined up. And I cannot, for the life of me, get this thing off. I've tried a plethora of tools and lubricants, and techniques, might I add, including chiseling with a 3-pound hammer. But at the end of the day, I was like, that's not coming off. I was an asshole to myself and put it on there. I realized the second I put it on there that I shouldn't have done it so hard. But after flipping through the old manuals there and checking a couple spots online, I knew that there had to be an external mark. And I finally found confirmation over all these years. I finally put the right words in to get Honda Tech to tell me that the 3 marks on the pulley itself are for the distributor, the ignition timing for that guy. But there is one, I assume you all know what I'm talking about. There's an individual one that's there strictly for mechanical timing, which means that I had to do a couple of double checks to make sure. But basically what that means is the inside markings where it matches up on the pulley to the oil pump mark there is an internal mark, and then the 1, not the 3, but the 1 is the mechanical marking. So if you didn't know that, now you do know that. I found multiple confirmations online after putting in, like I said, putting in the right Googling. So I'm going to assume that that's right, and hopefully this car will start up, thinking that I got that. So now that I've got that little issue figured out, I just have to line that up and see where I'm at on here, see how far off I am, because I think I'm pretty far off. Alright, you can see on the plastic casing there, if I were to move this camera over a little bit, the
The 2 parts there and the 1 part down there would line up somewhere in here, and you can see that white mark right there. That is my behind mark. Right there is my 3 mark. Right down in there. I'm trying to get the light on it. That is my 3 mark, and that is my 1 mark. You can see I'm like I shine the light on stuff, but you can't see what I'm looking at. This marking, this PO8 lines up with the line there. Up is up, and then this cam mark is lined up with that guy. So the cam is timed, and the bottom is off from the top. So boom, I was off about 1 inch, which correlates to about 2-3 teeth there. Alright, so I'm gonna pop this belt off, untension it, pop it off, get everything lined up, and see what's up. Alright, get that guy in, shed some light on it, turn off the old NPR there. I don't think I'll get a copyright on the NPR, but so you can see, pretty good and taut. Not crazy loose, but not crazy taut. I got my up mark there, got my 2 marks lined up, and I got my reverse mark lined up down there. Yeah. So I believe that is good. Well, I got this off. Why not do a valve adjustment? Just make sure, go run through the motions and check. Yeah, so getting that back on there. I definitely think I lost some tooth there. As far as I think this thing was too loose. You can see there's like marks on it. I'm not sure. The kit that I got, I think it was for a Y8/Z6. I can't remember. Some of the stuff didn't fit, but it only came with 1 belt, so I kind of did what I had to do. It seemed to be fine. It seemed to be working fine up until I started messing with stuff. Meaning this stuff. So I'm going to call the timing belt good and done. Now I'm going to get back to doing these again. Alright. They were all a little bit loose or a little bit tight. Except this one. That one was perfect. Go figure. So yeah. Belt's back on. Good little slack. Nice and taut. A little bit of slack. I'm going to remember to pull this guy back before I start it. I am going to remember to put that thing on before I put that thing on. I will remember. Yeah, so, and I got the alternator belt and the power steering belt back on, nice and taut, tightened down. I believe I'm ready to go ahead and button it back up. Yeah, it wasn't too hard, wasn't too crazy. Did have to take the belt on and off about 4 times there, just to get it to do what I needed it to. Hey, look at that. I just rotated it once. This shit's already off. So maybe I'll go around twice here. Maybe I'll come back to... Oh, that's fucked up. Maybe it's not meant to do that. I don't know. Can you leave it when you put a mark on there? And it'll stay where you're supposed to put it, because it's going around once. I don't know. Well, I almost did it. I almost put it back on. I had it lined up and I looked down at it and I was like, nope, not this time. Yeah, so after all that, I still have this little shake. I don't know if you can see it, but if you put the mic up, you can hear it. It's just vibrating away. I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's idling fine. Alright, just a second. It's idling good, but it's got this guttural. Doesn't sound too bad. Weird. I don't know. I just closed the hood. You can totally hear it. That's just the shaking. Gotta figure out what that is. Alright, just pull her back in. The thing is, it responds really nice. It sounds really, it feels really good. It's just that shaking, which is crazy. Never had that before. Now I'm wondering if, everything is torqued right in there. I don't know. Here's what I'm gonna do. Wait until tomorrow, wait for it to cool down overnight, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna come out here, pull it back apart, see what's up, see if I re-torque everything if I have to. I don't know. Gotta keep trying, right? Alright, cut to 2 days later. Yesterday I wasn't gonna do anything, but then last night I had an idea and I came down here. I was doing a little bit of researching and I thought maybe my mounts were loose, but I'm kind of reckoning they ain't, because they're super tight. And I thought maybe this wasn't pinching good enough or whatever it is, but everything's tight there, everything's tight here. Even the weird one down below is nice and tight. Everything back there I checked is tight. So the engine mounts are perfectly tight, which led me to think that the valves could be off again. So I loosened this guy up, and then I started looking at this guy, and I was thinking to myself about how I had it marked the top dead center down there and up here. And after I spun it a couple times, I realized that it could be 180 out. So last night I went ahead and took the belt back off at like 9 o'clock at night. I came down here in my pajamas, pretty much, exactly in my pajamas and socks. And I got the car up, took the tire off, and rotated around, got it kind of set up here, and then I was having trouble with the tensioner. Actually, right this second it feels pretty fucking good, but that's kind of where I left it, because what happened was, grab my flashlight here. My battery died on my flashlight, that's why I stopped. You can see that I'm in pretty much lined up here, maybe just slightly off, a little bit farther going this way, but that would just send the thing a little bit farther that way. And if you can see down in there, that white mark right there, not that white mark, that one is not lined up anymore. So it means I've got some kind of tension issue or whatever going on. I tried my hardest to get this guy to come off a couple days ago, or just about 3 minutes ago in the video, or 2 minutes ago. So today I'm going to try. It'd be fun to get that off. If I can get that sucker to break off there, that way I can pull it out and make damn sure it's timed. Get everything just perfect. But this dude here is, see the piston is top dead. It's all the way up. Number one is all the way up. Yeah, I'm kind of all lined up. So what I'm going to do right now is just try and get the timing belt tensioned with the crankshaft markings with the camshaft markings, and get it to crank around and not get all goofy. So I'm going to try that right now. Alright, so I've once again kind of given up, gave it a little try. I'm pretty sure I'm good on where that matches up. It pretty much can only be right there, so I don't really need to take the thing off. It's just for visual referencing. I just, you know, my own damned happiness. But so I got that guy lined up pretty much exactly right, and I went to look at this guy, and it looks like it's way off on that side and a little off on this side. And if I marked, if you see the line on the pulley coincides with the tooth mark on the thing there, and then you can see that I'm off by 1 on that side. But if you look over here, looks like that sucker's way off. I can't really, maybe if I get, the phone can get down in there, but I can't. Let's see. Sorry to flip you around like that. Looks like I'm 1 tooth off. From where I'm standing, it looks like I'm about 2 or 3, but I can tell that it's just 1 off. So I'm going to pull, loosen the tensioner, pull the pulley off, and then rotate this guy one tooth. Oh my God. All right. I got that guy lined up. I got that guy lined up. I got that guy lined up. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I would take it off and I move it over one, and then it'd be completely off. And I'd take it off and I put it back, and then it would be fine. And then I'd tighten it, and it'd be one off this way or this way. So I'd put it over one, and there's one off, and then, you know what I'm thinking is, don't buy kits, engine rebuild kits online that are good for two different cars. Buy individual fucking parts and piece together your own rebuild kits, kids, because shit like this will fuck up your day, your week, your month, because even an extra fucking tooth on that belt is gonna mess with your head forever. But that being said, I got good tension here. I got a little bit more of a slack on this side. I'm more happy with this than I am about that. There's good tension on both sides, but this side is definitely a lot more tensioned. So hopefully that'll be good. I got fuckers retarring the pavement over there, so now I'm gonna get a massive headache because it smells like spray on tar. Alright, so before I go tightening this guy down, I'm going to pull this cap off, make sure that I'm at number one over here. Just double, triple check that I got this thing in the right spot. I need to get rid of that vibration, so anything I can do to mitigate. Alright, so I'm gonna pull that guy off, make sure I'm where I'm at, and while I'm in there, clean up all the tips, the connection tips. Oh, you look at that. I got oil. Yeah. Alright. That might be where my oil's coming from. Maybe it is that fucking O-ring. Alright, more exploring. Quickly though, the number one spark plug is lined up with the rotor. So that's good. So at least I know I'm not 180 out. If it was over here, I was gonna use the phone to show you where I was talking about. If it was flipped over here, then I would definitely have a lot more problems. As is right now, this guy's a little dirty, but nothing crazy. Inside here, it's pretty clean on those tips. Got a little bit of something right there, but all in all, not a lot of corrosion or metal flakes. So, all right, delving into the oil. That's better. So I took this guy off, and I feel like it's obviously that's where all that oil's coming from. I'm looking at this O-ring, and it's got quite a bit of slop in it. The OD of the O-ring seems to be, the outer diameter seems to be coming out on one side, but not really on the other. I have another O-ring. I can't remember if this was from the new kit or not. I'm going to take the other one off and put this guy on there and see if it looks any different than what this guy's looking. Not seeing much of a difference. The bottom one is the newer. The top one is the one that I had on there. It could be a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit thicker. And it's a little bit... shoot. I'd break out my micrometer, but I don't think that's going to work on rubber. Especially a little gasket. What I might do... The one on top looks a little thicker. And the one on bottom... I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're the same damn thing, but... The one on the right there, the one that was on there looks thicker. But that could be because it was compressed when it was put on. Let me throw the other one on there and see what it looks like. It looks like we're about 125 thousandths. Yeah, maybe. maybe. I'm going to go ahead and say that that's probably the factory standard on this dude. Judging as I can't, even with the ratchet there, I can't really get it past. And I highly doubt that it'd be 125 thousandths and 1/10 thousandths. So Actually, where are we at here? Oh, did I just move it? No. Looks like 825 thousandths and 8 10,000ths. So no, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's 125 thousandths. So, judging by this guy and the other one, which appear to be the same, it's probably 2.5. So I want to get like 2.45 something. Give it a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm gonna walk down to the store and see what they got in lieu of this. Alright, so I couldn't get in there to measure the ID or the height of that, the gap size there. So I found a tool that fits perfectly in there. I don't want to keep shoving a file in there. But that's the exact same size as this dude, which comes out to 210 thousandths. So I want to go to the store and try and find one that's 200 thousandths. Yeah. Alright, just got back from the store. See the difference, about the same, it's the same diameter, just a lot thicker. So I'm going to throw that guy on there and see what it looks like. Alright, so it didn't quite want to go in there perfectly. It was a very tight fit. So I just started putting some bolts in and kind of walking it in, and it just smoothly went in. So I'm confident with that. You can see it's got a little bit of wiggle. It's got some little bit of room to move, so that's nice. It's not super packed. See, I got this guy back in there in the right spot. I believe I'm still timed up over here. I went down and slowly went through these guys in order. Tried to retap that, broke the tap off in there. I gotta figure something out. I'll figure that out later. But right now, it looks pretty good and flush. I'm gonna add a little RTV sealant right in there. I don't think it's gonna do anything. The O-ring is actually just past that guy. So no oil is gonna get through that to that. The only spot in there that I can get through is this little tiny bit right there, which I'm very curious as to why that even exists. So yeah, everything's torqued back down. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy back on, and then I'm gonna run through the valve clearances real quick. But yeah, I think I didn't forget anything yet. Alright, so geez, it took a couple days here to try and work on this vibration problem. And looking online, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff about timing. I'm seeing vacuum leaks. I'm seeing clogged catalytic converters. So I went ahead and retimed this guy twice. I did valve stem adjustments. It's my third one since I've started this video. I took this guy apart. Some people said it might be the distributor. Took that guy off, replaced the O-ring on there, thinking maybe that might solve my leak. Plus, when I took it off, I could clean this guy out, make sure everything's working. I pulled all the spark plugs one by one, and they all caused a misfire in the engine. So I know each one of these guys is good. The spark plugs are all gapped appropriately. Actually, they're not. I wanted to do that, so I'm going to leave this little tool here so that I remember to do that. They're brand new, and I gapped them when I brand newed them, so I don't think that'll change anything. I don't think that'll is the problem. But I did take the cat off and ran some detergent through it, and it's been chilling out for a day, pretty much like 12 hours. Rinsed it through really good, probably flushed I don't even know how many gallons of water. So I actually feel bad about the amount of water I used on that. So, but I got it cleaned out, and it doesn't smell like the detergent anymore, and I'm still getting a couple little droplets left. I just put like half a can of duster to it until I couldn't hold it. Yeah, it's still too cold. You can see the condensation on there. It got too cold, so I couldn't. But for right this second, I am planning on, my breather box had the O-ring problem. It was too big, and I think that was a big cause of the vacuum plus the oil leak coming down the back. If you remember, the old one was cracked. It wasn't cracked, it was broken. And so I got rid of that one and put on the big one. It didn't want to go on there quite right, so I think it was leaking some oil there, and it might be causing quite a bit of vacuum leakage. I looked online, it's going to take like a week to get one, so I went ahead And a lot of people said they put Honda Bond on it, so I got the next big thing, which is the Permatex Max oil resistant. Put that guy on there last night, let it dry overnight. So now I'm just going to, as you can see, razor blade off the excess of it and get this guy back on there and start working towards getting the cat back on, etc., etc. So we'll see where I'm at when I get this cleaned up here. Yeah. And so I got that pretty flush with the, I wanted it a little bit raised. I think that worked just fine. I also did the other side because it was pretty loosey-goosey. It didn't turn or anything like that. So it wasn't like free spinning. But it definitely had some air issues. And since I'm just trying to cover all my bases in the vacuum department. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy back on there and move on to the next thing. Also, I did clean this dude out as best I could. I ran super clean through there. I ran simple green, got it as best as I possibly could. Just kept, I even used foaming engine degreaser. Anything I could to put in there. Let it sit, shake it up, dump it out. Let it sit, shake it up, dump it out. Kept putting all kinds of stuff in there. So that's nice and clean in there. There's definitely no obstructions or anything. Beautiful, works beautiful. Fingers crossed, at least works beautiful. All right, that is back in there, nice and snug, working good, felt great. As far as the resistance with the gasket maker goes, hopefully, I don't see why I would ever have to deal with that thing again. But you never know. So on we go, moving back up to top. Alright, so I cleaned out all my hoses and my PCV valve here. PCV, PVC, PCV, something like that. I got the other hose sitting around here somewhere. I don't know where it went, but we'll find all that and get it thrown back on. Alright, so this is obviously the downpipe here. Or not downpipe, you know what I mean. This is the back end of the cat converter with the gasket on it. Right, so this is right, so this is the you know, downpipe missing catalytic converter, and then this dude, which is old gasket that I had. It's a little gasket maker on there. Ugh, she's on there good and plenty. I want to try and use this. Shouldn't have done that. I feel like I shouldn't have done this. Put the Permatex gasket maker on there. Sorry about the crazy view. I do have this. I don't have another one of these on hand, but I do have this sheet of gasket maker I got at Napa. It's Felt Pro, in case you're wondering what this is, in case I need to figure it out later. Felt Pro. Yeah, whatever the hell that is. So you can see what I've done in the past is tried to make some. It is cardboard on one side and this metallic stuff on the other. The cardboard doesn't peel off or anything like that. It's not like a sticker or something like that. So what I'm thinking about doing is making two and putting them together or something like that. I feel like I have one of these somewhere hanging from one of my little posts or something. I don't know. I'm gonna look around and see if I have one of these. I doubt that I do, but if I don't, I'm gonna have to go ahead and try and make one of these. They're a total pain in the ass to make. If you try and drill into this, that's why I gave up on these, is because if you see like a circle, if you try and drill into that, the whole thing catches and it just spins like crazy, and obviously it's very dangerous. I think I have a couple scars from shit like that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out what I can do about this guy. Ooh. So after about 20 minutes of struggling with this dude, I was just like, I don't feel comfortable putting that on there. Yeah, I bought this like 4 years ago, and you can see how much of it I've used. So what I did was I took the old brush here and just kind of scrape this guy off. I'm still going to go a little bit more, but this took about 20 minutes to get that far, and this took about 4 minutes. Not even that, like 3.5, and I was like, all right, this is way better than that's ever going to be. So, and I went around the edge and looked, and all the, you can't really see it, but went around the edge and looked, and all the gasket itself looks pretty darn good. It's not torn apart, it's not coming apart. The metal seal isn't dented or anything. So I think I'm confident that this is going to work a lot better. God, that stuff is so loud. Making so much noise. It's Sprite ginger ales. Really loud pop. Or soda, or wherever you're from. Yeah, so I'm going to finish this guy up and get this guy back on there. Okay, I went through all that, and then I just remembered that I have a gasket remover. So in order to get the rest of this, I'm almost finished. This is the side I just showed. I'm almost finished, but I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of this stuff. I hate it when I forget it, when I have easier things to help me out with, but... Alright, this bad boy is back on there. I switched out the bolts so I can get the longer and tighter ones. I actually ended up going through the end of the bolt, as you can see on both sides. I used the wrong one. But this was actually meant for that weird squiggly, a little 6-inch piece that's supposed to go in there. That's what those ones were for. But I wanted something longer. Tighten these guys down first. Got them on there as tight as I can. It appears to be sealed quite well. But there is like that, but as long as that inside pipe is good, all the bolts are lined up. I managed to push it up just a little bit to make sure it was centered on there. You can see the difference in pipe size there. It looks like 2.5 to 2. Definitely got bumped up. If you look right there, you can see where it got flared out. And looking down, I'm not seeing any other. Is that a hole? That isn't a hole, is it? No, there's just some shitty dirt. Just some shitty dirt. Yeah. So I believe that this is good down here as best I can get it. Looking right here, that gasket appears to be holding well, even though I've got that crazy fucking bolt on there. It's the best gasket I've ever bought in my life. It's like 5 videos ago or something like that. Look for the header one if you want to find the link in the description for that, because that is by far the best. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that leaves me with drop it and try it. Maybe I'm gonna take a break, think about everything I've done, make sure there's anything else that I want to do while I still have it up in the air as far as getting underneath it. Got it cleaned out as best I could. As far as the oil down there, trying to figure out, clean it up to see where the new dirt comes from. I'm not seeing any fresh stuff. I do want to clean this up down here. That's definitely newer, but not since I've changed the O-ring on the old distributor there. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break, think about this, and possibly drop it. Alright, so none of that shit helped. But at least I know I've got it all taken care of. These guys, I was looking in the book here. It says spark plug gap 3.9 to 4.3. These were all sitting at, like, checked them both, and both the 4.4, and I checked this guy, and they were going to almost 4.5. So I tapped them all back down. Tapped them all back down and got them all set to 4. I am going to, since I've been messing around with a bunch of shit, I'm going to again do a valve stem adjustment. But as I was doing this, I ran the car for a good 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to figure that out. Yeah, I even thought maybe it was, when I first cranked it over, the exhaust started rattling like crazy. So I got down here and I took the hanger off to see if maybe this dude wasn't rubbing against the car, causing that vibration, which would bring it all the way up to the front, which it was not. And as the car was running, I was tightening this bolt with a hammer, and that wasn't doing anything. And this is still at this point, this is my main culprit. That was a shitty Subaru, if you heard that. So I got, yeah, those are all going good. Yeah, so this guy, I'm gonna redo these guys tomorrow morning. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna double, triple check this timing. I think it might be slightly off as of the fact that I've had to run it at advanced just to get it. So I'm gonna figure that out. Worst case scenario, we're gonna do a head gasket. Yes, that is worst case scenario. Shit. The saga just continues. I've been trying to get this bolt out, trying to get that in there, thinking maybe that might be causing a little bit more vacuum. But I don't think that would be a vacuum issue. I think that's more just a leaky oil issue. When I first turned it on, I saw a little drop right here. But then I thought to myself, well, it's probably just residual hanging out in there doing something. So I'm not concerned about that right this second. So basically I'm just going to wait until tomorrow and then let this dude cool down. Do those guys. I did re-gap these. I don't know if I just said that, but I re-gapped them. I haven't put them back in yet because I'm going to be turning this guy over. So I guess the only thing I can really do is just kind of lift it up, let it cool down, do another valve adjustment. If that doesn't work, then yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what else I can really do. Check compression. If all that doesn't work, I'm going to check compression, and then I might be having to do like a head gasket or something. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. Oh, better shut that off real quick. Going through all this, resetting it. This is the 4th time I've set the time. I was looking in the book. You don't need to see the fucking book. I was looking in the book, and after setting it to here and here 3 times, I read the book over and over and over again and finally found what I was looking for, which is the D16 Z6 needs to be timed right there. Ignore all that other shit. Time it off of that one, that little triangle, and that little fucking dash. That's your top dead center for your camshaft. That being said, my spark plugs, I don't know if I said this, but my spark plugs were ungapped correctly. So I re-gapped them. I think I already said that. Yeah, so now I'm gonna put this on, and then I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm gonna make sure this is at number 1 here, because I just rotated this back around, top dead center. Boom, I got lots of tension here, a little bit of slack right there. I think I'm doing okay. As far as tension goes. I took this all off again, and I got that out. I tried tapping it a whole bunch. My tap magic and whatnot. I went to the store and got a brand spanking new shitty Irwin. Took my sweet damn time with that, and I wasn't getting anywhere. Got a little bit done there. Taken off with this 1/4 inch, and drilled that really slow a couple times. Re-tapped this a couple times. Still can't get it. Tried 3 different size bolts. Actually got 4 different size bolts. I got a bunch of these size, and cut them different lengths. This is the original size. Just kept trying different sizes, and none of them will fit. I can't get it to do anything. At some point I went wonky on that. As you can see right here, I actually came out at like a weird ass angle. I don't know. Now we're buying a new head over, especially what they fucking want for them. Yeah. So that's that. I'm gonna make sure that's good. Get all this crap back on. Let me do a quick compression test before I try and turn it over, just because I got the spark plugs out. So let's see what that leaves me with. I had 180 across the board before I started messing with all this, so hopefully I'm getting there. Quickly, I just rotated this sucker around 10 times. Did 10 full revolutions, and I am still lined up there, and I'm still lined up there. So I'm confident that my belt job is good and tight and on where it should be. Yep. Alright, so it's still there. Still got a bit of a shake. If I hold on to the hood, maybe. I mean, it's better. But I'm thinking it might be in my head. And one thing I did do, you'll notice now, it's better. But one thing I was messing with, I was holding on to the light, and as I was moving the light around, it would get worse and it would get better. So I took the hood up and I loosened the 2 bolts. So I just tightened those before all this started happening. And now it seems to be better. So after all that, my conclusion is it was the lights. Fucking fine now, man. But what I do know is that it still has a shake, but I'm starting to wonder if that shake was always there. Was the shake always here? 2, 3, 4. That's new. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, O2 sensor. Big fucking deal. Probably doesn't like the amount of water I got in here. I'm starting to wonder if maybe, so I just started plowing it hard, pulling hard on it, giving it the old manual throttle there. A bunch of water starts coming out. A little bit of sud, but not like fucking bubbles blowing out or nothing. Maybe I need a new muffler. Maybe that thing just, but it's only like a year and a half old. I can't even have, I don't even think I put more than 700, 800 miles on the thing. I don't even know, but what I do know is the major shake is gone. It's timed perfectly. It's a little high in the idle right this second. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the, I don't know what's up with that, but I don't know. It fucking seems to have fixed itself. Curious about that high idle right this second, but that's why it's not shaking. It's because the idle's up there. If the idle were to drop, it'd probably start shaking again. Damn it. Well, yeah. So I figured since I got the thing off, I'd reset the idle. Did everything I needed to do, and then I went to start it back up, and it died right away. And I was like, oh no! And then I realized I didn't bother to replug the idle air control valve back in, so went ahead and did that, and everything seems to be working good. Just relearning the idle. So I was trying to clean off the lens a bit. Relearning the idle, and got the full load going. Got everything going here. And it's weird, my antenna is only picking up NPR. It won't pick up any other station, just NPR. So that's a little interesting. I think that's the good Lord trying to tell me something. But under full load, I'm still rocking 12. So that's awesome. See where she goes. And the idle under full load. I mean full load.
Do what you're doing.
I got everything going here. So just oh, blinkers go a lot faster when they're Seattle. No load. Idle stable. Should we throw it all back on, see what happens? Let's go full, brights, blinkers. Yeah, she drops a bit. So these guys are all on. Literally, it won't pick up anything except for 98 or 94.9. I think the scans through it.
In order for the state to qualify.
That's my favorite station right there. Love that station. So, boom. What can I say? I think that vibration has always been there, and I'm just an idiot. I'm just overthinking shit. How do I shut that off? Boom. That one I keep on. Yeah, so last but not least, I think for this video, because it's probably already an hour long, it's going to take me 3 hours to upload it. I'm going to put some of that, probably just cut a little bit right here, because I think my rattling problem is coming from that thing. I thought it was up here rubbing, so I put this piece of rubberized thing that I put on the gas tank stuff. So I think that's definitely it. I can feel it moving up there. So I'm gonna shove a piece of this fire retardant volcanic ash cloth. That's for wrapping headers. I think if it can withstand that heat, I'm pretty sure it can withstand the other heat. But at the end of the day, I think I did all that shit for nothing. I think I did all that shit like 4 times for nothing. I wrote down a big list of everything. I even ordered another fucking engine mount. Ordered it on Friday. It shipped this morning. It should be here this Friday. If nothing else, I'm going to use it to try and make an actual one. See what happens. Or else just keep it. Maybe I'll resell it. I don't know. Dirt cheap. It's only like 25 bucks for one of those. And yeah. So, fuck. Yeah, this is a long one. I don't know if you bothered to watch the whole damn thing. I highly doubt you did. You probably skipped through it. God knows I would. Fuck. These videos, like I say, are just journals for me to look back on. If other people enjoy them, then they enjoy them. And if they learn something, that's definitely awesome. If you get any kind of entertainment value out of this, good on you. Because, I mean, shit, I'm laughing my ass out the whole time I'm fucking this thing up. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put that volcanic ash on, and I'll show you the list of everything I did. But, yeah, that'll be my end credits. Alright. Time to enjoy my day. I think it's about quantum leap time. I had 2 hours of quantum leap from like 7 to 9. I have no idea what time it is. 12:08, holding. Alright. Yeah, that shit went in there way too easy. Slid right in there. You guys know, the only reason I buy that muffler is because it's the only one that I can find that's OEM. It's the SS Quiet Flow. It's the only one that I can find that's quiet. I'd much rather have a nicer one. I'd pay 4 times what I paid for that, which I think was like $98. I'd pay like $400 for a nice quiet muffler. But all you ever see is the super loud droney ones, which I am not about that at all. I'm not that kind of Honda guy. I'm a restore and make fancier, not a race car. I don't need the big hardcore outlet. It actually sounded really nice with this one on there, but if you remember back to the time, actually the video I did this on actually has like 54,000 views. That's the one I did with the cracked header. It was the JD Weld trial and review that I did this guy on, and obviously that shit didn't work at all. But this looks like I think it's a 2-inch pipe, and this I believe is a 3-inch. This thing actually sounded really nice. Maybe that's 2.5. That looks more like 3. I don't know. I don't have anything to like judge it on, so yeah. Oh, popping. Something out in the street. People keep driving over. It's popping. Yeah. So if you know of a quiet OEM one, or else I'm just gonna have to just go to a muffler shop and be like, I want quiet. I want to get rid of the catalytic converter. Put like another resonator. Have like resi muffler. Something along those. Oh, I don't want to show that guy. Got a guy in the neighborhood that walks by that I don't want to show. Yeah, so like I said, that shit went in there way too easy. Literally just slipped right in there. I might end up shoving a bunch in there if that doesn't work, but I'm going to put this hanger back on. See if I have one that's a little longer, because this one was a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Apologize for that slime. She still goes on tonight. Yeah, but she goes on alone. And get this, she doesn't win. And then she
Yep. Oh. Just in time.